Welcome back. My name is Sayuri. Once a simple journalist from Tokyo, my curiosity led me to the shadows of a monstrous past, the cursed Himuro Mansion. The legend spoke of a gruesome ritual, the strangling ritual, and a family's descent into madness, ending in a horrific massacre. As my team and I ventured into the mansion, we were blissfully ignorant of the gruesome experiences that awaited us, later wishing we had delved deeper into its history before stepping foot in the mansion. My team consisted of Hiroshi, a tech-savvy paranormal enthusiast who had every ghost-hunting gadget imaginable, Kenji, our group's skeptic, and Aiko, a medium whose spirit-sensitive nature had proven useful in our past investigations. Little did we know her abilities would lead us down a path of pure terror. We arrived at the mansion just as the sun was setting. The mansion stood tall, a brooding monolith against the twilight, its stones seeming to absorb the dying rays. An overwhelming sense of dread washed over us as we crossed the threshold. The air inside the mansion was stale, heavy with centuries of untold horror. As we ventured deeper, the mansion seemed to come alive, its long corridors echoing with whispers of its ghastly past. Kenji, ever the skeptic, brushed it off as our imagination running wild. But Aiko, she felt it too. The mansion was not just a place, it was an entity, alive and breathing. Our first brush with the uncanny occurred in the mansion's cavernous library. Hiroshi, absorbed in assembling his array of ghost-hunting gadgets, did not notice the sudden thump. A book had fallen, seemingly of its own accord. Moving to pick it up, I discovered it was a time-worn diary, the pages brittle with age. Its ancient entries spoke of a forbidden romance between the maiden chosen for the strangling ritual and a lowly servant, an echo of love in an otherwise death-saturated dwelling. This doomed affair had catalyzed the mansion's tragic end and the unspeakable horrors that ensued. Such a revelation piqued our interest, leading us to delve deeper into the mansion's infamous history. Hiroshi, with his fingers flying over the keys of his laptop, began to unspool the grim tapestry of the mansion's past. Himuro Mansion was more than a haunted house. It was a stage where one of Japan's most horrifying massacres was played out, home to the ill-fated Himuro family. A lineage bound by an esoteric and terrifying rite, the strangling ritual, conducted every half-century to keep misfortune at bay. This ritual was as enigmatic as it was nightmarish. A maiden raised in complete isolation, shielded from the world's corrupting influence, was meant to be its centerpiece. This innocent was groomed to be a sacrificial lamb, her body destined to be torn asunder by powerful oxen tethered to ropes secured around her delicate limbs and neck. These blood-drenched ropes, the macabre remnants of the ritual, would then be used to fortify the mansion against malevolent spirits. The final iteration of this monstrous ritual was doomed. The chosen maiden, supposedly the epitome of purity, had erred fatally. She had fallen in love. Her untarnished heart was now tainted by earthly desires, rendering the ritual ineffective and summoning a cataclysm. Haunted by apocalyptic nightmares, the Himuro family's patriarch succumbed to insanity. In a fit of madness, he executed his entire family with his katana, splattering the mansion's walls with their blood. This horrifying massacre forever sealed the mansion's fate. Now the mansion stands cursed, a spectral habitat teeming with the spirits of those tragically slain. The flickering shadows take on human forms. Ghostly silhouettes stare from the windows, and blood-stained handprints appear mysteriously. Eerie laughter of unseen children sends shivers down the spines of brave explorers. Some claim to have captured these spectral beings in photographs, while others have vanished, their fates unknown. Just as Hiroshi began to unravel these horrifying truths, his computer flickered violently. The screen turned an inky black before emitting a loud static, filling the room with an unsettling noise. The air around us dropped dramatically, each breath turning icy. Aiko gasped, her trembling finger pointing towards a dim corner. A spectral figure, adorned in a traditional white kimono, stood there. Her jet-black hair flowed over her shoulders, her mournful eyes locked onto mine. A frigid shiver raced down my spine. She was the ill-fated rope shrine maiden. I reached out to her, offering comfort, but she disappeared, leaving behind a cold, melancholy silence. I could feel her despair echoing in the room, a chilling reminder of her tragic fate. That night, as we huddled in our makeshift base in the mansion's main hall, we heard it for the first time. A high-pitched, keening wail that echoed through the mansion's halls. The cry was filled with such despair, such anguish, it felt like a physical blow. Aiko was pale, her eyes wide with fear. "It's her," she whispered. "The maiden." As we ventured deeper into the mansion, the encounters with the spirits became more intense. In the mansion's main hall, we found a collection of life-sized portraits, their faces painted with expressions of terror and sorrow. As we moved past, their eyes seemed to follow us, a stark reminder of the mansion's tortured past. In the mansion's shrine, we encountered the master. The spectral samurai loomed over us, his eyes a furious blaze. He accused us of sullying the sanctity of his home, his voice echoing through the silent halls. His wrath was tangible, his spirit radiating a powerful, intimidating energy. But it was in the mansion's underground labyrinth where we faced our most terrifying encounter. As we delved deeper, the labyrinth seemed to shift and change, a macabre maze that toyed with our sanity. We stumbled upon the Room of Masks, a chamber filled with grotesque masks used in the strangling ritual. Each mask seemed to wear an expression of pain and fear, their hollow eyes watching us as we moved through the room. Suddenly, a door slammed shut behind us, plunging us into a deathly silence. The masks began to move, their expressions shifting, their hollow eyes glowing in the darkness. The room was filled with whispers, pleading for release, for mercy. We were surrounded by the tormented souls of the shrine maidens, trapped forever in their gruesome masks. The masks began to float, circling us, their whispers growing louder, more desperate. Aiko, sensitive to the spirits, was overwhelmed. She crumpled to the floor, her face pale, her body trembling. I reached out to her, calling her name, but she was lost in the spirits' tormented cries. Hiroshi, ever the practical one, managed to capture the phenomenon on his equipment. The display showed a whirl of spectral energy surrounding us, but it was Kenji who managed to find the exit, a hidden door that led us out of the Room of Masks. As we emerged from the labyrinth, gasping for breath, we realized the sun was rising. We had spent an entire night in the mansion, lost in its ghastly past. As we stumbled out of the mansion, I turned back for one last look. In the window I saw her, the rope shrine maiden, watching us with her mournful eyes. The Himuro Mansion is more than just a haunted place. It's a living entity, a tangible manifestation of a gruesome past, its spirit imbued with the energy of the souls that were brutally sacrificed. Its walls echo with their cries, their despair, their torment. And those who dare to venture into its dark halls, like us, bear the scars of their encounters forever. To this day, the memory of the Himuro Mansion haunts me. Its ghosts, its chilling whispers, its tormented souls, they are all etched into my soul. The mansion is not just a place, it's a monument to a horrifying past, a relentless reminder that some doors are better left unopened. Every ending is but a new beginning in the realm of the strange and the unexplained. Subscribe to keep the stories breathing and the mysteries unraveling. Remember, the dark is just a curtain to the unseen, until we next cross paths again. Sleep well, if you dare.